Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Wendy again from Chayatsuji Kimono. Last week I did a Furisode Kitsuke, well, the Furisode itself tutorial, and this week I'll be doing one with Hakama. Now, especially around graduation time, you see a lot of Japanese girls wearing Furisode and Hakama. Now, usually they'll wear the shorter version of Furisode, like the sleeve length. However, given I don't have one of those, I opted for one of these longer ones, which you don't see as much, but you do see them from time to time. So that's what I'll be doing today. Also, yes, I do have my Hakama on. Yeah, you can't really see it because of the camera. But what I do want to show before the obi, before the Hakama tying, that is, which you can actually use two kinds of obi. I'll showing you a little bit more in depth in the tutorial. I hope you can see a little bit. I'm wearing this light pink Hanaba obi. Now, for the Hakama version, as with regular Hakama Kitsuke, you don't want to use a regular Fukuro obi because that one's way too heavy. So instead, you'll be using a Hanaba obi, which are far lighter and a lot more of a breeze to wear, trust me. So without any further ado, let's go into the tutorial. Okay, so as you can see, I put my gearband on already, including my tank top and legging as for the underwear, as well as my regular padding belt. Now, I put on a tank top and a pair of leggings, but you also can use like the regular hara gearband and sushioke, as well as any other towels or whatnot for the padding. It depends on what you prefer as an individual person. I'm just going to start out by just pulling the collar down in the back, and then starting to tie off with a cordon belt. Now, the part that we're doing now, tying off the collar, is again very up to you as an individual, and whether you like things or not. You don't have to do it the way I do it now, just now, because what might work for me doesn't always mean that it might work for you too. Let's bring it down. Okay. Then I also put a piece of, so actually just a handkerchief, just in between the parts where the collar crosses, so that they don't slide in between my breasts, so to speak. I will tie them off with a koshihima. And then once again, just pull all the fabric down so that the collar is sitting nice and taut. Then lastly, I put a datajime over it. Again, this is highly personal, and if you feel that you want to do things differently, then by all means go ahead and do it your way. Now, with the gearband, you want to make sure that it doesn't reach all the way down to your ankles, because otherwise it might show from underneath the hakama. So that is the gearband part done, and let's go onto the kimono. Okay. So first you want to do is fold down the collar. Now, mine does have these snaps. You can put these together. However, because the gearband collar has a little bit of a wider collar, I don't fold them all the way down. Just making sure that it's folded. And then I just put it on. Okay, now that it sits on your shoulders, you grab the gearband sleeves, just let them drop inside the kimono sleeve, or Furisode sleeve in this case. And what I like to do now is grab the ends of the sleeves, just put one finger inside the Furisode sleeve and the other inside the juban sleeve, and then simply just pull them taut, and hopefully it will stick inside the kimono sleeves. Unfortunately, my juban is made out of a synthetic fabric, and so is the lining of this Furisode, so it doesn't really want to stick. As you can see, I'll just leave it for now. And once again, pulling the juban down. Let's see if it's all nice and neat in the back, which is good. Smoothing it. Now what you want to do now is making the owashori basically, but instead of just having the kimono brush the top of your feet, you want to pull it up even more so that it won't show from underneath the hakama. And then you simply tie it off with a koshi himo. Now raising the hem like that is quite important actually for any kind of kitsuke where it involves a hakama, because the last thing that you want to have is the hem of your kimono visible from underneath the hakama. There are actually special hakama for well, kimono for hakama actually, which are quite a bit shorter. I suppose they will be about knee length or me, but in real life they will reach halfway your lower legs, so that it won't show from underneath the hakama at all. So now that you have the kimono hem in place, we're going to start making the owashori. And because you've raised up the hem of your kimono, it's very likely that the owashori will be a little bit longer, but it's okay, it won't show from underneath the hakama. So just putting inside the armhole, and then just pulling and pulling the collars in a nice cross. And then you simply tie it off with a koshi himo. Now again in the back, smoothing it out as you go. Again, the sides, just pulling and then folding over. Again with this side, just pulling and then fold it over. Now over this, I really like to put a datajime. And then, just before we start tying the obi, I will be putting on my obita. Again, this is very personal if you want to do this or not. It is completely up to you. Now let's get on to the obi and the hakama part. Okay. So for the obi you can use two different ones. You can use this single colored one or one of these with a kenjogara pattern. But this does have a pattern, however the color, it is actually reversible, but the background color is just one and the same. I'll be using this one for the tutorial. Now, I believe I've done a hakama video before, how to put on hakama, and pretty much it's not any different from that particular tutorial. Just putting it on. Just pulling it taut. Looking at knots. And then this part is going to be, it's like not entirely in a bunko knot, but sort of similar. So you don't exactly pull it entirely taut, but it sort of resembles like a little bit of a bow. And then you tuck the remainder in. So now simply turn it around. And then let's get the hakama. Okay, so I just grab my hakama, and what you want to pay attention to is that the side with the 5 folds is on the front, and the one with 3 is on the back. Now you just simply step into the hakama. Now, excuse me if you can hear like music outside. There's actually a Christmas market going on, and there's this marching band that doesn't seem to stop even after like 15 minutes of waiting. So excuse me for that. What you want to make sure is that you have a little bit of the obi showing. I have roughly 1 to 2 centimeters of fabric showing here, and then you simply bring the ties to the back. What I do, I just make a knot. Then I bring them to the front, making sure that they're all nice and neat. And to the side, I bring them over, like actually crossing them. I hope you can see it here. And then what I do is bring the right side, that was previously the right side, I bring it up. And then just making another knot in the back. Now you simply bring up the back part and put it over the knot. Bring it over. Again, I like to do this on the right side. Right now I just go underneath the ties that you just tied, put left over right, and then go underneath and then pull it up. This will ensure that the ties of the hakama won't slip down, and the back otherwise may be a little bit of exposed. Just tie them taut. What you simply want to do is make a bow, like a pretty bow. And then you obviously see the length in the ties. Now the longer one, you pull up from underneath what I like to do is just pull the underside a little bit so that I can adjust it in height. And then you have your bow. So that is pretty much a Furisode Hakama tutorial. Now, it's not really that difficult, but getting the Furisode on is probably the biggest part. So I thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye everyone.